welcome to our lesson for today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start by remembering what we talked about last time.
Yeah,
Yes.
so last time we talked about how Samson posed a riddle that he thought only him had the answer. But then the Philistine young men were able to get the answer from the wife.
Yes.
Because they threatened her. Yeah, and so they got the answer, and Samson was very angry, and he promised and he vowed that he was going to take revenge against the Philistines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, after this happened, Samson still wanted to be with his wife because he still loved her. So he got a gift and he went and he presented it to his father-in-law. And the gift was a young goat.
Yeah.
And he presented it and he asked for his wife back.
Yes.
But his father-in-law told him that he had already given out his wife to be married by his best man.
Yeah, because
Imagine.
he thought that Samson was very angry at his wife and that he was not going to take her, like he was not going to come for her again.
Yes, because remember she had betrayed him, so the father thought he wasn't going to come back for her. But when the father-in-law saw this, he even offered his younger daughter, who he said was more pretty and was beautiful, and that Samson could marry. But Samson did not want
that
her.
compensation.
He did not want her, and he was very angry, and he was very angry, and he went on a rampage. Yes, so he went and he caught 300 foxes and he tied all of their tails together and then he lit a torch under them and then their tails caught on fire and then he let them loose in the Philistines' fields. Imagine, in their harvest fields. He let them loose and everything burnt down. They burnt down everything, the whole field, all of their harvest. They even burnt down a vineyard. And the Philistines were upset. They
because
were very
everything was
angry.
gone now.
Yes, everything was gone. It was all because of Samson, and they got word that it was because of Samson. So they went to his father-in-law's house where his wife lived and his father-in-law lived, and then they burnt down the house.
Yes, they burnt down that house.
Imagine.
Yeah, and
all because they were angry at what Samson had done.
Yes, and so while this was happening, Samson had gone to live in a cave. He had gone to hide. But now the Philistines went in Judah to look for Samson. And when they got there, of course, they attacked the people of Judah. And the people of Judah asked them, why are you attacking us?
We haven't done anything to you. Why are you attacking us?
And they said, we are here because of Samson. Samson has attacked us. He has burnt down our plantations and everything. So they wanted to get Samson. And the people of Judah took 3,000 men to go in search for Samson because they could not stand the Philistines attacking them.
They don't want to be attacked again. So they went and found Samson.
So these 3,000 men went to look for Samson. And when they got to the cave where he was, they told him that the Philistines were looking for him and that they wanted them to hand over Samson to them. And Samson asked them to not to kill him, but to just tie him up and hand him over to the Philistines. And so that is what they did. They tied him up and they handed him over to the Philistines. And when Samson got to where the Philistines were, the power of God came upon him and he got this mighty strength, and he was able to break the ropes that they had tied him with, like
burnt flax.
Like burnt flax.
Because he was tied up, and so he broke the ropes as if they were burnt flax.
As if they were nothing.
Yes.
So he was able to break loose, and so he got a jawbone from a recently dead donkey. So he got a jawbone. Like, this is what a jawbone is. So he got
this part for,
and
now he took that for a donkey.
It's very small.
It's not
really
that big if you think about it. But he
so
took the jawbone of a dead donkey.
And with that jawbone, he was able to kill 1,000 men.
He killed 1,000 Philistines. He killed all the Philistines who had come to get him. There were 1,000 of them, and he ended up killing all of them just with the jawbone.
Just with that jawbone, he was able to kill 1,000 Philistines.
Yes, but now the thing is, even after God had given him this power to defeat the Philistines at that time, he still went back
to the land
He still went back to the lands of the Philistines again. So sometime later, he was staying for the night in the town of Gaza. Yes, he was staying in the night in the town of Gaza, and the Philistines found out that he was staying in this town.
They got word that he was
around. So they went quickly and they locked the gates and trapped him in.
Inside,
so all of the gates were locked. At midnight, Samson
decided,
I want to go. I don't want to stay here anymore. So he woke up and he went to the gates. When he got to the gates, he found that they were locked. And he looked at them and he took his hands and he
grabbed
grabbed the
the
gates
gates.
and he tore them off the hinges. He
removed
removed
them.
them, including the frame. So
And the
imagine
poles
a
and
big
everything
gate and he
that
removed
holds the
it.
gate.
Yes,
Yeah.
he took it and he ripped it out. He ripped up the frame and the bolts and everything, and he ripped it out. And then he took it and he carried it
On
and
his shoulders.
on his shoulders, and he walked up a hill and he headed on his way all the way to Hebron. Yes, he went on his way to Hebron. He took and remember, he's carrying a gate,
And
a big
the
gate
gates
plus
of
a frame,
city
and
are
he's
not-
carrying it.
You now imagine the gate, like where you live, how the gate looks like. So the gates to a city are bigger, like I can say 10 times bigger than
Yes, they're
that.
10 times bigger. So
Yes.
they're huge.
They're
It's
very
a huge gate, and he took the whole thing plus its frame, and he walked up a hill on his way to Hebron. Hebron. His way to Hebron.
Yes.
So he went up a hill.
Yeah, so now children, Samson was this strong, yes, but you see, he kept on doing the same mistakes over and over again, even though God was able to give him the strength to like come out of his mistakes
And to defeat
and
his
to
enemies.
defeat his enemies. Samson would still go back, like he went back to the land of Gaza, which is in Philistine. He still went back to the land of the enemies. So children, from these we need to learn that even if we make mistakes and God gives us the strength to come out of it, don't go back to the same mistakes you're doing.
Yes, we need to learn from our mistakes and stop doing the wrong thing and
do
start doing the right thing.
Yes. So now we're going to stand up and sing this song. And so I hope you're all standing up. So let's all stand up and sing this song.
Okay, kids, it's time for us to sing our song. Now, we've just learned about how Samson went on a rampage and he made all of these mistakes and he kept on going back to the Philistines.
Yeah.
But despite all of that, God kept giving him the strength to defeat his enemies.
Yes.
And that shows how much God loves us. So now we're going to sing a song about God's love. So everybody stand up and help us sing this song. God's love is very, very wonderful. God's love is very, very wonderful. God's love is very, very wonderful. So wonderful love. So high that you can't get over it. So low that you can't get under it. So wide that you can't get around it. So wonderful love. God's plans are very, very wonderful. God's plans are very, very wonderful. God's plans are very, very wonderful. So wonderful plans. So high that you can't get over them. So low that you can't get under them. So wide that you can't get around them. So wonderful plans. God's love is very, very wonderful. God's love is very, very wonderful. God's love is very, very wonderful. So wonderful love. So high that you can't get over it. So low that you can't get under it. So wide that you can't get around it. So wonderful love. So wonderful love. So wonderful love. Yay!
Children, so here we are to do our craft today, and we have someone new in our craft today that's going to help us draw. So kids, help us welcome to Chamorin. Yay! Chamorin, say hi to the children.
Hi, kids.
Okay.
Okay, so remember, we've just learned about how Samson went on a rampage and did all of these crazy things. And one of the things that he did was that he killed 1,000 Philistines with a jawbone.
Yeah.
So Chamorin is gonna help us draw our
A
jawbone.
jawbone,
Yes.
So Chamorin, take us through.
So kids, today we're going to draw a jawbone, and I want you to remember this, that a jawbone simply looks like a shoe.
Yeah.
So get all your things ready, and so we can start. So our first step, we're going to draw a small line like this. Then after you've drawn the small line, we're going to draw something that looks like a valley. Here, a small valley. Once you've drawn the small valley, we're going to draw another small line like that. Then we're going to now draw a line widthwise. So we're gonna put a dot here, somewhere here. So we're gonna join this line from here, like that. Then you stop at the dot. Then we're also gonna draw another line. So this one is going to be just a quarter. So we're gonna put a dot somewhere here, and then we join the line here. You see, kids? Then we're gonna extend this line. So we're gonna put a dot somewhere here. So this line is gonna look somehow curved. So we're gonna join this dot to this other end, and then from here we're gonna draw a backward C. A backward C so that it can look like a shoe, like that. You see, kids? Then we're gonna join this end to this end, like that. So make sure that it looks like a curve, and ensure your jawbone looks like a shoe. As you can see, kids, here we have a sketch of our jawbone that looks exactly like a shoe. Somehow.
It looks a lot like a shoe.
Like a shoe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna draw are teeth. So we're gonna draw floating M, 8 of them or 6, like that.
Okay, so now remember, you have to remember why we're drawing this jawbone, and we're drawing this jawbone because Samson used a jawbone of a donkey to kill 1,000 Philistines. And this drawing will help us remember that those 1,000 Philistines were killed by just one man and a jawbone. So I hope now you've all drawn your floating teeth, 8 or 6 of them, so now you have floating teeth. And that is our jawbone. That is basically how the jawbone of a donkey looks like, kind of like a shoe. So now,
we're going to write what this jawbone did. So remember, Samson took this jawbone and he was able to kill 1,000 Philistines. And so that is what we're going to write. Like right at the top here, we're going to write Samson killed 1,000 Philistines
with a jawbone.
With a jawbone. So when you see a jawbone of a donkey, or when you see this drawing that we've just done, you remember that God was able to give Samson the power to kill 1,000 men with this small weapon that's a donkey's jawbone.
Yes.
And so that is it for today, children. Until next time, bye.